Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Thanks for joining us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. I don't know about your neck of the woods, but here in Dallas-Fort Worth, autumn arrived over the weekend. Nice.
About time.
Of course, it's going to leave again very quickly. But for this week, we do have autumn. No more calls, please. We do have autumn. It's kind of an inside stupid joke, but it was miserably hot, though, of course, in Austin, Texas for the Texas BYU game.
Really?
I mean, I
had no idea.
The only relief we ever got during the game was when clouds happened to drift in front of the sun. And that was it. I mean, it was like 85.
Really?
And just beating down in that stadium. Oh,
It
cool
struggled.
stadium, though. Have you ever been to Darrell K. Royal Stadium in Austin? No?
Mm-mm.
It's kind of downtown, very close to downtown, and it's gigantic. 101,000 people there.
I've been to Austin,
awesome.
but I never saw the stadium. How
Really?
did I miss it?
I don't know. It's pretty big.
Wow, okay.
It's hard to miss.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's you might want to open your eyes next time you're in Austin.
Well, we barely hit 60 up here, and you're saying 2 hours away it was
it was 85,
roasting?
84, 85. It was, it just cooked us to a crisp.
Gosh.
Fortunately, I realized I'm going to need some sunblock here, so I got SPF 14,360. It was the
Wait, hold on. Did you
it was
decide,
the highest I could find.
were you already at the game when you decided you needed the sunscreen?
No, we actually did it on the way.
Okay, good. I was going to ask you how much that run you.
that would have cost a fortune.
Well, at least the game was really good, huh?
Yeah, the game was terrific. It sounds a lot worse than it was. 35-6. If you're not aware, Texas beat BYU. But if they had just avoided a couple of really costly turnovers,
that'll do it to you.
and a couple of really bad calls by refs, and a couple of really stupid moves, they're right in that game. I mean, of course, the only consolation for me was that the godless animals lost by the exact same score to Oregon.
Oh, wow.
Oregon beat Utah 35-6.
Now that I knew.
Yeah. So
and I lost money on.
did you really? Yeah, you get it.
Utah was the
Never
weakest.
pick Utah.
Utah was the weakest link in a silly parlay.
You know what, though? Nebraska won again, right? As I'm sure you're well aware. So they're the same record as BYU now, 5-3.
I wasn't going to say that.
Same record.
But since you did.
You know who looks phenomenal, though? And I won't say it when he's here, but Missouri looks really good.
Next week they
year.
got Georgia, so
that'll be interesting.
it will be interesting.
I don't know that they get blown out by Missouri Georgia.
Georgia hasn't. What did I read? Georgia hasn't beaten a ranked opponent. They haven't had to play anybody at all this year or something.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, Georgia Tech is going to beat Georgia at the end of the year.
They might. Georgia Tech's not bad.
Can flag this audio. Yeah.
Okay.
Georgia, man, I don't know. It's not a magical ride.
No.
That it normally is for them.
Yeah, they shouldn't. I don't think they should be. I don't think they're the best team in the country. I really don't.
Who are you going with?
The team in Provo, Utah is pretty awesome.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, BYU's not the best. They're not even the best 5-3 team.
That would be a good bowl game though. BYU Nebraska.
And people are predicting.
Right.
We'll see if it happens.
We'll see, yeah.
BYU still got to win a game before they can get bowl eligible. Michigan, maybe? Ohio State?
Yeah.
Ohio State or Michigan, I would probably say. Oregon, though, even though they have a loss, that's
barely to Washington,
really,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Oregon and Washington are both going to be in the playoffs.
Washington might be the best team in the country. Yeah. They're unbeaten. So it's weird that the Pac-12,
I know,
in its last year of existence,
it's very ironic.
Complete demise. They fell apart absolutely, completely during the summer. And this has been their best year maybe in their history.
Yeah, and they also have the sideshow that is Deion Sanders.
Right. Who lost again over the weekend. They're 4-4 now.
Do you believe?
No. I believe that you had a string of lucky breaks at the beginning of the year playing virtually nobody.
Yeah, they've lost, 4 of their last 5?
Yeah.
And I think I said on this show when they were 3-1, 2-ish, I don't know, I said they won't even make a bowl game.
No, and they might not.
Mm-hmm.
He might not. They still got some powerhouses on the schedule.
Yeah. And by the way, the Jets, with your boy Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
That defense is insane.
They're good.
-9 passing yards for the Giants yesterday.
Oh my gosh, I didn't see that stat.
And so
-9 in passing.
So they're 4-3.
How does that?
They're trying to.
How does that even happen?
Right. And Aaron Rodgers looked good during pregame warm-ups. I mean, granted, he was just standing there passing, but it's like the fact that he's standing, I think.
But Zach led him to another victory.
No, he did not.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yes, he did.
One pass in overtime, or at the end of the regulation.
He completed a 50-yarder. He threw a touchdown pass, no interceptions.
Yeah.
It's not a great game for him, but I think he was 17 of 36 or something.
Yeah, I think he had a couple of interceptions or something.
No interceptions.
Oh, then it was fumbles. I forgot which one. I knew it was 2 turnovers.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was.
All right.
But hey, you know what, though? Aaron Rodgers might come back if they show some life at the end of the year.
He very well may.
That could be interesting.
And they're 4-3, I think. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it was an interesting weekend, too, on the Israel-Palestinian front. Jeez, I can't. Every day I'm just amazed at the support for Hamas.
It's stunning.
I just can't even imagine it. Israel's always the bad guy.
Yep.
Every time they're attacked and they respond, it is they who is...
They're the bad guys.
Yeah, they're completely torn down, torn limb from limb in the UN and all around the world, in all of the big cities across the planet.
Yeah, the UN
They're hated.
Passing that resolution saying that Israel, we need a ceasefire, and of course, you got to get out of Gaza.
Yeah.
And there was no admonishment of Hamas whatsoever.
Gosh, years ago we did might have even been in Houston, but we should look this up again. How many UN resolutions there were against Israel? And I think it was 150 or something.
It's the UN's reason for existence is to pass resolutions against
condemn Israel and the United States. Yeah. And there were 0 against the Palestinians.
Yeah, the Czech Republic is so upset about this that they're threatening to withdraw from the United Nations.
I love the Czech Republic. I mean, is there a more conservative regime on earth than the Czech Republic leadership? I don't know. It's pretty amazing. So anyway, here's city after city. Here's a rally. This is actually a country. I'm not sure. Is this Istanbul, Turkey?
Yeah. This is the mother of all pro-Hamas. I'm sorry, pro-Palestinian rallies. Let's start in Turkey on our little anti-Semitic.
Does it also show Erdogan and his comments?
Well,
that they could be knocking on their door, that they could...
Yeah, so at this...
His troops could show up at any time in the middle of the night in the Gaza Strip.
Yeah, here's a quote from Erdogan. Israel has been openly committing war crimes for 22 days, but the Western leaders cannot even call on Israel for a ceasefire, let alone react to it. We will tell the whole world that Israel is a war criminal. We are making preparations for this. We will declare Israel a war criminal. Show this crowd. I mean, this is incredible. Look at this.
My gosh. Gigantic crowd. Gigantic. I mean, that's got to be hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, that's...
If not more. Maybe million? I don't know. That's a lot of people.
Sure is. So,
they have no business being in NATO. No business. They should be kicked out of NATO.
Yep. So what else we got on the world tour here?
We got Paris.
Paris? Okay. Let's go to Paris. This was last week in Paris. This is the only video that we're going to put up here that's from last week. Everything else is from yesterday.
Okay.
There's Paris looking good. Look at Paris.
Looking good.
Look at Paris, huh?
That's
what
the
a
word for it.
romantic city. Let's go.
Those Frenchies, man, they are romantic, aren't they?
We got London as well. This is terrifying. Look at that.
New York, Paris, London, music. Everybody talking about
Hamas.
Munich, not music. They're talking about Hamas.
Music. Pop Hamas.
Jeez. Look at that.
This is
there was over 100,000 in London.
Yeah. Let's see what's next. We're in Hamburg, Germany. Okay, and those are, of course,
Where is this?
ISIS,
Did you say Hamburg?
Hamburg, Germany, yeah. And we've got ISIS flags and...
that's nice. ISIS flags.
And Al-Qaeda flag, or the Taliban, whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's...
Oh, good.
But, I mean...
It's a nice mix.
Yeah, they're just wanting a ceasefire, Pat.
Right, that's all they want.
All they want is a ceasefire, man.
Okay.
Montreal, Canada. Oh, this is good.
Wonder why they didn't call for a ceasefire before October 7th happened.
All right.
Yeah. As soon as Hamas declares that they're done perpetrating terror on Israel, Israel will. They'll stop.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow, look at this. I mean...
These are Western cities.
Yeah, Montreal. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
Now, did you see what happened in Russia at the airport? So they fly a plane
of Jews
from Israel, from Tel Aviv.
Mm-hmm.
The local Muslim population finds out about it. Remember, they just want a ceasefire, man.
That's all they want.
That's all. They're just like,
is that too much to ask?
Can we stop? And they completely attack this airport. And they're looking for Jews. They're like, hey, look at this guy looking in the engine compartment coming up here.
Oh, my gosh.
Are there Jews on this plane? Let's look over here. Allah Akbar. And now that is just one snippet of what was happening at that airport. I mean, the National Guard had to be called in, and basically they shut down the airport. And all because, and like the captain had to like warn the passengers, like, yeah, so some people found out where we're flying from and the whole purpose of this flight. So y'all just stay seated for now because it's pretty bad out there. But again, they just want the ceasefire.
That's all they want.
And I swear, it's such a lie.
My gosh.
What else we got on our anti-Semitic world tour?
Washington, D.C., I believe.
Well, okay, so before we do that, though, Donald Trump was on the campaign trail, okay? Mm-hmm. And he's talking about these rallies.
Okay.
And this is his message.
State Department wishes admitting colossal amounts of jihadists into our communities and campuses and our refugee programs. That's why you see all of these big demonstrations in New York and Chicago. Nobody can believe what's taking place. They're letting them in at levels that nobody's ever seen before. We cannot allow that to happen. We don't want to be like Europe with jihads on every corner. That's what happens. I mean, we're going to be like Europe. You take a look at London, you take a look at Paris, you take a look at
Munich,
what's going on over there.
Everybody's talking about.
We want to be the United States of America, and we want to make our country great again. Right now, we don't have a great country. We have a laughingstock.
Thank you.
As president, I will end once and for all the mass importation of anti-Semitism into the United States.
Yes!
And just as I did before, we will keep radical Islamic terrorists the hell out of our country. We're going to keep them out of our country. We were keeping them out. We were keeping them out.
Yeah.
You remember the travel ban? On day one, I will restore our travel ban. We had a travel ban because we didn't want people coming into our country who
hate our guts.
Really love the idea of blowing our country up. Let's blow up our streets and our shopping centers and our people. So I instituted what we call the Trump travel ban, and it was an amazing success. It was suspended immediately upon his coming into the country. And I never talked about this for 4 years. I never mentioned it. We didn't have one incident in 4 years because we kept bad people the hell out of our country. We kept them out. We didn't have not one instance. I didn't want to say it during the 4 years because I didn't want to walk out of the speech and have something happen, right? I'll also be implementing strong ideological screenings for all immigrants coming in. If you hate America, if you want to abolish Israel, if you sympathize with jihadists, then we don't want you in our country, and you're not going to be getting into our country.
Right. Jeez. Last month, the month of October, 100 Syrians and 50 Iranians crossed the U.S. border with Mexico. 150 from Syria and Iran in 1 month. Are they all just looking for a better life here? I'm sure. I'm sure of it.
And those are just the ones that
we encountered.
Yeah.
Who knows? The number could be double or triple that. I could be 10 times that number. I don't know. But do you think they're all loving, respectable, wonderful people? Why'd they sneak in through the southern border then from Syria and Iran? How do you do that? You don't want any sort of documentation on you. when you do that. Because otherwise, what do? You fly into JFK from Syria or Iran, right? You probably get a connecting flight in London, and then you come to New York, and that's where you begin your American experience. You don't begin it by flying into Mexico and then sneaking across our border if you have good intent. It doesn't make any sense. So,
yeah. So, I mean,
it would be nice when there is somebody who understands the problem.
I think the left understands the problem. They just love
they don't
chaos.
Care. Yeah, they don't care.
They love the chaos. And all these rallies, by the way, I was reading an article from the New York Post reporting that George Soros, surprise, has funneled more than $15 million in the last several years to these pro-Palestinian groups, the ones that are organizing all of these mass protests in the streets around Europe and in our own country, as a matter of fact.
And isn't it something how the pro-Palestinian sentiment also seems to come completely equipped with anti-Americanism? Why and how does that happen? Why?
Yeah, but don't call out people like George Soros for funding this kind of hate.
Yeah, don't.
Because then you're somehow in some twisted way
anti-Semite.
You're the anti-Semite.
Yeah. It's right. It doesn't make any sense.
So Trump said he didn't want us to become like Europe, right?
Right.
And a little late. And like you alluded to, here's Washington, D.C. over the weekend. Mm-hmm. This was a fun time. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Isn't that wonderful?
It's one of the more tamer protests. Well, it didn't stay that way, but I mean, it was for.
It didn't stay that way.
Well, I mean, I don't know if this is the video or not, where like this guy, they're following this guy. He goes over to these guys who are standing out there. I don't know what the guys were yelling, but of course we had to have police step in between Mr. Palestinian and D.C. residents.
My gosh.
But remember now, the Obama administration, what did they do time after time after time was fly people around the country to different American cities under cover of darkness from hostile nations.
Right.
And
what are you, not welcoming?
And now when it's time to let our voices be heard for the, we just want a ceasefire is all. That's all we're wanting. And by the way... and
the total destruction and annihilation of all Jews in Israel.
But you add that in there. That's... You're coloring the news.
I know, sorry.
We're learning that between 3,000 and 4,000 innocent Palestinians from Gaza entered Israel with Hamas in order to commit those atrocities. Because remember, we played
4,000.
Right, we played the clips. I think it was a clip from MSNBC or something where the guy was saying, some people came in, some residents. 3,000 to 4,000. Yeah, but
some people, came in.
They just want a ceasefire. So
because Israel is committing the war crimes.
That's right.
Indiscriminately bombarding the Palestinian territories. All of Gaza has been reduced to rubble. They've been bombed back to the Stone Age. No, they started in the Stone Age. So don't give me that.
They started that incursion, by the way, and I think we're already up to, I think it was 55 Hamas leaders that were killed overnight. So that's a positive development. Yeah.
Good.
Let's see. Oh, you want to see San Francisco over the weekend?
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Probably don't, actually, but look at this.
How many of those individuals are standing in piles of human excrement?
Almost all of them.
So there we go. So now
that's
our cities
a lot of people.
Sure
that
is,
Pat. A lot of people.
Sure is. You saw the...
I'll bet if you tried to put together a pro-America rally in San Francisco, you'd have like 10 people show up. But for this, you got a massive crowd.
Shall we continue our anti-Semitic... ceasefire?
You mean the pro-Palestinian
ceasefire tour. Yeah, let's go to the Brooklyn...
What New York look like?
Brooklyn Bridge, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my.
They shut it down.
Jeez.
So that was neat.
Look at that. Wow.
The Brooklyn Bridge with an illegal gathering there.
Incredible.
Now, we had college football over the weekend, and Cal played. This is before the game. They wouldn't let the game start on time.
You might recognize Cal being in Berkeley, California.
I've heard of that place.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
Yeah, we're just going to wait while...
Is that the Cal quarterback? He looks like he's a little irritated. Okay, look, can we play some football here? And there's Caleb Williams.
There's your number one pick overall.
They nearly lost to Cal, by the way. Cal sucks this year, and USC barely handled them.
Let's see. What was happening in Chicago, Pat?
What, fun stuff? Pro-Israeli?
Peaceful stuff. It's peaceful.
Yeah.
It's just peaceful.
Yeah, that's nice.
I love this.
That's nice. Ooh, they're beating people with their flags, with their Palestinian flags. Oh, that's nice.
That's good.
Wow.
If
these were Trumpers, this would be called an insurrection.
You got that right. I mean, until you see that truck pull up that says Chicago on the side, you think, wow, what third world nation is this fight happening in?
Yeah, it's a third world nation of Chicago, Illinois. Jeez.
But again, they're just wanting
They just want a ceasefire. They just want peace restored. They're peaceful people who love peace.
And you talked about it earlier in the show, how, you stand up for Israel and all of a sudden, like you're the bad guy, or Israel's the bad guy for defending themselves. I thought Yair Rosenberg, this was succinct and to the point. The anti-Semitic gaslight in 3 steps. Number 1, it's not happening. You're paranoid. Number 2, it's fringe. Stop pretending it's significant. Number 3, well, what did you expect? I may not like it, but it's understandable. The anti-Semitism. Shut up.
Right. Jeez. Wow. So true. All right. I got to take a minute and remind you that there is a recent study of hundreds of post-abortive women, and 60% of them reported that they would have preferred to give birth had they received just more support from others or had more financial security. It's not that, the other thing is they've been indoctrinated with the belief that this is a clump of cells, so it doesn't matter. Just take care of it and be done. Well, preborn is there for women in these dark hours, deciding between life and death of their precious child. Now, the reality is they're being pressured to make this decision, but preborn is there for them. They welcome women with God's love, and they introduce them to the beautiful life growing inside of them through an ultrasound, which is where you come in. Your donation of $28, just $28, can show one woman one ultrasound, and that doubles the chance that she's going to choose life. Your love can save a life and prevent a woman from making a decision that she'll regret for the rest of her life. So dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
So we pretty well covered the protests around the world, right? Or is there more?
Well, you got to see the New York University student holding up a sign there. We can't wait for the caliphate.
Oh, nice.
Are you?
Nice.
You are that dumb. You are that dumb.
We can't wait for the caliphate.
Yeah.
See, that rhymes, though.
That's cute.
It rhymes, and that's
cute.
all that counts when you're doing a protest.
So there's a guy that's been driving around New York with a sign of, I guess, with group leaders, some of these protest group leaders, just basically saying, hey, these folks support anti-Semitism, et cetera, et cetera. So what someone did, probably not connected to that at all, somebody called the SWAT team and said that this guy was holding a gun to his wife's head in his house. So the SWAT team shows up.
This is so dangerous.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You get people killed this way. It's not funny. It's not cute. It's really dangerous.
I love how the cop has the code to the house, though. Interesting,
how'd that
right?
happen?
Yeah, isn't that something? Reminds me of Liberty Safe. But anyway, and see the packages there. Thankfully, the family was out of town.
Oh, wow.
So no one's in the house there as the SWAT team arrives.
And they just left the package on the front door. You couldn't even bring that in.
Bring that in. Put it on the table.
That is really inconsiderate of you
just
SWAT team members.
Just kind of kicked it off to the side, right?
Yeah.
You don't know what's in there, bro.
You don't know what's in there. That could have been something breakable. You don't know.
And just one last video along this line. This is happening in every city around the world. And this in particular, I think this is Los Angeles, where people have put up missing posters of their loved ones in Israel that were taken hostage by Hamas. And so it's just constantly taking these signs down.
Yeah, I thought you were looking for a ceasefire there. Why are you doing that?
I'm sorry, this is New York. New York.
Jewish, he's not Jewish. I don't know if he is or not. matter?
Why are you doing that?
The U.S. says New York City. You don't have a right to touch that.
Thank you.
This is a free country.
Good.
You can wave your Palestine flag and say death to the Jews or America whenever you want, but we can put a sign. Okay? Then don't rip that down. You are doing something. You're offending us.
Right.
Yeah, you are. When you throw that on the floor, you're littering the city. In a minute, I'm going to litter the floor with you. So move the on. You have proof they're not kidnapped? No.
Nice. Way to take a stand. And he didn't get violent with him, which is great.
He wanted to. So he got right in his face.
And I wanted him to, really, but that is so counterproductive. And all you have to do is look to January 6th for plenty of reason not to get violent. Because they will use that against us, as they are from J6, in perpetuity. It will never go away. We always have that stain now on us.
Perception is reality, right?
Yep. And so now the right wing, we're the instigators, we're the dangerous ones, we're the ones you got to look out for. We're trying to subvert the Constitution and stop democracy.
So you've seen all these American cities. I mean, when do these protests turn into May of 2020 in America? Truly. Like, when do they get the go signal?
Seriously, could happen at any time. At any time.
I mean, this is what happens when you don't respect your sovereign borders and you allow America-hating people that have no interest in peace into your country. And then when the time comes, they're here.
And Europe's a great example of that. France is just overrun with Islamists. So is Sweden. They've got this weird gang problem now in Sweden.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 1930s Chicago in Sweden, with people and their families being murdered by mob violence. It's crazy. It's really weird. So maybe we could be a little bit more stringent on who comes to our country from other places, and especially those places that hate our guts. Is that too much to ask? Is that xenophobia? Is that racist? I don't think so. In fact, I know it's not, obviously, but that's what the battle cry will be, because they want it to continue. They want the chaos to continue.
Right. Funded by folks like George Soros.
Yeah. Yep. And again, if you say anything about George Soros, you're an anti-Semite, which is so asinine. Jeez. And don't bring up the fact that he went around with a Nazi looking for Jews in the 1930s. Don't worry about that. That's okay. He had to.
Not supposed to remember that, bro.
It was his uncle. I know. And even bringing it up is so anti-Semitic. The man loves Jews. He is one. If you actually look into his belief structure, I believe he's an atheist. I believe he's a professed atheist.
I think he worships himself.
And Satan.
Like I said.
So, yeah.
Himself?
Right.
I just said
right.
it.
Yeah, it's about sums it up.
With a synonym.
Right.
This world makes no sense. It makes no sense.
I know.
And,
I know.
And I'm very fearful for the next, not only, well, at least to the next year, because you know that the world is looking at us going, wow, has America ever been this weak?
Yeah.
I mean, look at their president over there.
Right.
And
oh my gosh.
And if they see the clock running out on this guy's presidency, then they're just going to ramp up the next year. I'm afraid. And
you mentioned the Hamas leader that has been living in government-subsidized London properties.
Isn't that something? They take advantage of Western charity.
Mohammed Qasem Sawala, 62, designated Hamas member, who has been living in the UK for decades.
Why not Gaza Strip, bro?
How many of those live right here in the United States?
Yep.
The report details that he and his wife were granted roughly $136,500 discount on nearly $390,000 two-story state-funded home in London. Oh, that's not bad. Good for them. Good for them. Take advantage of Western hospitality.
Yeah, I mean, the welfare state right there.
That's just incredible. Wow. All right, 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed is inevitable.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Man, it's tomorrow. Halloween tomorrow already.
Cool.
Sheesh.
That'll be fun,
Incredible.
right?
Yep.
Cool.
By the way, we had a technical glitch on radio at the beginning of the show that knocked us off the air for about 6 minutes or so. So it wasn't Chris.
Oh,
amazingly.
Wait, we don't know
that
this.
particular thing. We don't think involved a mistake by
Yeah,
Chris.
so stop calling me and telling me, turn on their mics, Chris.
So it was
right.
So it was from 3 after till 9 after. And so that what sucks is it's so ironic, and of course this would happen. Probably the most brilliant 6 minutes in the history of this program.
They're already asking for it at the Radio Hall of Fame.
Right, and hardly anyone got to hear it.
Yeah, I know. It's sad.
There's always podcasting, bro.
Download the
Always
podcast
podcasting.
later. Yeah, go. That way you can hear the genius
Yeah.
that you missed.
Yeah, so make sure you download that. And subscribe to The Blaze, because we need you. You know, there's such an effort right now to shut down any dissenting voices. If you're not a governmental voice spewing propaganda for the Biden administration, they're trying to shut you down. It's just that simple. And that's why, Glenn started The Blaze in the first place. And it wasn't anywhere near this bad back then, if you remember correctly. We thought it was, but man, have we learned in the last 10, 12 years. Shoo.
Well, yeah, and you remember early on in the existence of The Blaze, we were trying to get on cable systems.
Right, that's
and
right.
The Obama administration was in good with Comcast, and out of necessity for survival, we had to exist on our own.
Yeah, had to.
So we've depended on you from the beginning. Thank you.
So yes, thank you. And if you can, please subscribe to The Blaze. Go to blazetv.com/Pat. Is it Pat 36?
Yeah, the code.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Pat Plus.
Pat Plus. Pat Plus.
So
36.
go to theblaze.com and you'll see it's been completely redesigned. You'll also see really great articles, opinion pieces, analysis. And now it also features lifestyle and sports and tech commentary. So pretty much covers everything you could be interested in. What you won't see are the obnoxious ads for toenail fungus or the pop-ups that are virtually everywhere.
Sorry, y'all, your liver's on its own.
Yeah. Well, we'll tell you about the liver from time to time live here.
There you go. You want to see it. You want to look at it.
If you're already a Blaze TV subscriber, thank you. And this subscription will be included with your Blaze TV subscription. If you want to join the fight against big tech, please join the Blaze and just check out the all-new free experience, ad-free experience for yourself. We're prioritizing you and standing up against the censorship game. So, again, go to blazetv.com/Pat, and the code is PAT+, PATPLUS. PAT+, you'll get $36 off. blazetv.com. All right? Got some tweets here. Conservatarians tweets, look at the size of these pro-Palestinian protests. Well, yeah. Let in third world people get third world problems and protests. Bob Loblaw, the last time we saw this many pro-Palestinian rallies was in Germany in the mid to late 1930s. Kenneth Parker, Hamas wants a ceasefire so they can rally another attack. That's the problem, yeah. Rock and roll G-Mom. Again, there is no way all these white people in our country are pro-Palestine. They're BLM loser protesters. All of a sudden, they have scars and clothing the Palestinian people wear. Come on, man. As our president would say, come on, man.
They just had boxes of that stuff sitting in a corner at their little meeting place.
And now they can finally use it, break it out and use it. Man, how long's it been since you've worn your scarf? Man, it's been a while for me. It's been a while.
Tablecloth scarf.
Meanwhile, Israel launched their biggest attack on Gaza yet over the weekend. And Gaza is claiming that 8,000 are dead. They're claiming most of those are women and children. Okay, whatever. I mean, I don't understand how you can continue to use the Palestinian numbers and report them as fact in all of these publications. The New York Times, the Associated Press, everybody just buys into it wholeheartedly. About 3,000 or 4,000 of them are children. Really? Get out of here.
What was the one thing? Let's see. When they reportedly hit the hospital, which we of course know that they did not, and it wasn't Israel either. It was, it was the Hamas lame rocket.
Yep.
But it was the Hamas Health Ministry or something, or the Palestinian Health Ministry, or whatever.
The
Gaza Health Ministry. Okay, so in other words, a spokesperson for a terrorist group.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's where they got the numbers.
Health Ministry.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just buy that.
So fun.
Wholeheartedly. Why would I challenge the Palestinian numbers? There's no reason to doubt them, except for all the reasons they've given us forever.
Except for those.
There's none. By the way, Congress, their approval rating, you didn't think it could go any lower, probably, but it did. It slipped down to 13% now.
Oh.
13% of Americans approve of Congress. Jeez. That comes in the wake of weeks of chaos.
That seems high.
It actually kind of does. But that's down 4 percentage points from last month and 8 points lower than a year ago. Remember, they did a study, and this was last year. They might do this every year. What do you approve of more, Congress or cockroaches?
Cockroach, yeah.
Congress or jock itch?
Yeah.
Congress or monkeys flying out your butt? And in almost every case, it was whatever they put up against Congress, because nobody likes Congress.
Even the monkey is flying out the butt, huh?
Yeah, even that, which probably hurts, Democrats' approval rating currently stands at 10%, down from 22% last month. Republicans, whose approval rating of Congress was 9% in September, now it's 8%. So neither party doing real well in the eyes of the American people.
But
Congratulations.
That doesn't translate at election time.
I know it doesn't.
It's frustrating as hell.
They keep sending back the people they don't like or trust into office.
You got to
Doesn't make any
primary
sense.
these people and get them out of there.
Yeah. New House Speaker Mike Johnson was asked about his worldview.
I love this.
I think you might like this. Here's what he had to say about it.
Someone asked me today in the media, they said, it's curious. People are curious. What does Mike Johnson think about any issue under the sun? I said, well, go pick up a Bible off your shelf and read it. That's my worldview. That's what I believe.
Wow, what an extremist. Go pick a Bible up off a shelf and open it, and that's my worldview.
Shocking.
Is this guy allowed to even serve in Congress, much less be the Speaker of the House?
I know. He should be in prison. He's a danger to society, this guy.
Right.
Next, he's going to start killing people all around him. That's the next step for this guy.
Yeah. What was it? He said they found some old speech of his from 2013 where he said he appreciated 18th century values, something like that. And they're like,
we had slavery in the 1800s. Oh my! Of course, that's what they go to. Not any other value that you had in the 1800s. The only one from then was slavery. Nothing else happened. People weren't more chaste back then. They didn't. They weren't more patriotic back then. It's so great.
I swear.
Oh my gosh! He said 1800s.
And the same people freaking out about that offhanded comment, right? They're the ones that are looking at the violence in the streets of the world going, that's a just cause right there. That's a value I can get behind.
Right. You think that would have happened in the 1800s? Or the 18th century, which would have been the 1700s? No, it wouldn't have. It would not have. We had respect for human life then. And maybe that's the value that he treasures. I mean, it's unbelievable. It really is. Everything has to revolve, though, around race and slavery.
Yep.
Everything. Meanwhile, a guy they could have had for Speaker of the House that would have shown that they're pretty open-minded about race, Byron Donalds. He just explained the new evidence Congress has on the Bidens. Check this out.
Critics of this investigation keep saying that there's no evidence. What do you believe is the most damning evidence? We know that you've had 176 suspicious activity reports indicating lots of flowing of money in 20 different shell accounts, and you've also had witness testimony. But what do you deem as the most damning evidence so far of potential bribery?
Well, honestly, the most damning evidence is now we're starting to see the transactions that went to Joe Biden, money actually going into his hands. One of the things that I believe we're going to uncover is that there were payments made on behalf of Joe Biden where they didn't give the money to him, but the money was spent on his behalf. That stuff is damning in and of itself. And I think there's also another piece to this, Maria. You have the cover-up that is going on in the FBI and at the Department of Justice. We are now getting information that federal prosecutors were being stonewalled by the FBI, something that, according to Scott Brady, quote unquote, never happened at any other point in his career. But because of this investigation, he had to get clearances to continue the investigative process. That's insane to me, because it means that you have elements of our Department of Justice and our FBI that were covering up for the President of the United States. So those are the two damning pieces that we have at this point. We're going to continue to follow the evidence to see where it takes us.
Okay. Not my FBI. Huh?
No. Yeah, that's
like
hard
that?
to believe.
Look at that.
And look at that. I was going to hold up this, but I don't need to. Obviously.
Yeah, all right. See, we got you.
But there it is. Joseph Robinette. They actually put R. Joseph R. Biden. $200,000 payment.
Yes.
From Sarah and James Biden Sr.
Loan repayment. Remember, Joe challenged the Congress. Hey, good luck finding the money.
Ta-da!
Well, I mean, that
we found some. There's $200,000. I know that's a drop in the bucket compared to the millions that you received. But that's fairly significant to most people. $200,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
On April 12th, 2018, Hunter Biden told his assistant. They have the texts. I didn't send this in, but they have the text of this. It says, told his assistant that he and his business partner, Eric Schwerin, had been paying President Joe Biden's bills through a shared Wells Fargo account for 11 years.
Oh.
Facing difficulties getting into his Wells Fargo account, Hunter told his assistant, WF shut me out again. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Too many profile changes and such. Happened 10 days ago, too. He further revealed, quote, my dad has been using most lines on this account, which I've, through the gracious offerings of Eric, have paid for past 11 years. I mean, this is... I swear, Jeffy has a theory.
They're closing in on this guy. The walls are closing in.
That Hunter wanted to be caught. And it just feels like it.
Yeah, it
Every
does.
time you get something this obvious, I don't know.
Is there some animosity to his father? You think that's maybe why?
Maybe, or he could be just that dumb.
He could.
His dad is Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
So
the stupidity runs in the family is kind of what you're saying?
Apple don't fall far from the tree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What they say.
Which apple, though? He's got so many apples in that tree. I mean, there's Puerto Rican apples. There are black apples.
I see.
There are Hispanic apples, Greek apples, Italian apples, Polish apples. I mean, there's so
a lot of
many.
I may be Irish, but I'm not stupid.
Right.
But everyone in town was either Polish or Italian.
Right.
I grew up feeling self-conscious. My name didn't end in an S-K-I or an O. For the Senate seat when I was 29 years old, it was because I started calling me Joe Bidenopoulos.
Sure.
Because, you think I'm kidding?
No,
I'm not.
I don't.
He's kidding. Was sort of raised in the Puerto Rican community at home,
right?
Politically.
Sure.
And so we came here for a long time. I got raised in the black church. He knows I'm not kidding. I got my education for real.
For real.
In the black church.
In the black church. Sure.
And that's not hyperbole.
What about Jewish heritage?
I
what about that?
probably went to shul more than many of you did.
You think he's joking?
You all think I'm kidding.
No, he's not. He's not kidding or joking. Okay? He really did go to shul more than any of you Jewish people. Okay? Because you don't really believe it like he does. So put that in your pipe and smoke it if you would.
Just wait until he gets in front of one of these pro-Palestinian crowds and tells them that he used to go to the mosque
Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
He would do that.
That's the only thing missing from his portfolio there.
That is about it. That's about it. Well, and he's got no white upbringing. Well, I guess the Italians are sort of, and the Polish usually. So.
Oh, by the way, you played that clip of Speaker Johnson. His office has addressed the fact that his, quote, adopted black son doesn't appear in any photos or anything like that.
Yeah.
That was apparently,
is that for his privacy?
That was at the request of the black son.
Oh.
Who, when he got into politics, just didn't want to be
ever
identified. Anyway, so that's why you don't see him in pictures. It's not like he's hiding him and bringing him out for George Floyd commentary.
No. Alrighty.
Okay.
So that was at his request. That's kind of like when Joe Biden asked Barack Obama not to endorse him. Yeah, I didn't want him to. I told him, no, don't endorse me. That would make it too easy for me.
Corinne Day is the communication director for Speaker Johnson's office.
Okay.
And she said, quote, when Speaker Johnson first ran for Congress in 2016, he and his wife Kelly spoke to their son Michael, who they took in as newlyweds when Michael was 14 years old. At the time of the Speaker's election to Congress, Michael was an adult with a family of his own. He asked not to be involved in their new public life. The Speaker has respected that sentiment throughout his career and maintains a close relationship with Michael to this day.
That is beautiful. That's beautiful. So why is he telling stories about it?
I was going to see if you were going to do that.
Why did you bring it up?
Because if you weren't going to say that, I was Yeah, I mean, look, when we have an issue like George Floyd going on.
Until it suited my agenda, I left him completely out of stuff.
Oh, no.
And then...
Okay.
I mean, on most things, the guy is really good.
Rock solid. Let's go.
So I don't want to make too much out of the racial aspect of this, but it is irritating when you start using things like that and misleading people and making the country look really bad. And that's what he did when he made that comparison between his two 14-year-old sons. First of all, he made it sound like that's concurrently happening. Secondly, you didn't mention that he grew up in a totally different place on the streets and had already been through crap. Well, of course he had a different experience than your 14-year-old son growing up in the burbs. Duh.
So the House is getting down to business this week. It's going to be interesting to see what priorities Speaker Johnson puts forth. So this will be a very important week in our judgment of him, I believe.
Looking forward to it. So we'll see. Meanwhile, we still got to get into the shooting last week and where this guy is and how they knew about him. Again, it's another of those.
Where he is right now?
Yeah.
I bet it's warmer than here.
You think so?
30 out there. 35 degrees, something like that. A little bit warmer.
Also, Google has invested $2 billion into a company the CEO admits has a 25% chance of destroying humanity.
What?
So that's good.
What? Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Thanks for being with us. Got some tweets to share. Sasquatch Cougar tweets. These rallies for Hamas, Palestine, are choosing to stand for the wrong side. Some guy named Glenn, using a wasted letter, warned us about choosing the wrong side. It's evil these people are choosing.
What it looks like?
Sure does. Call it like I see it. When I see those protest videos, I think about the words of Jason Aldean. Try that in a small town. I live in a small town in Georgia. Sarah the Roma, they must have gotten that 13% approval for Congress from dead voters.
Oh, yeah.
Could well be, yeah.
That's what it is.
Speaking of all this, did you see that Mike Pence made a big announcement?
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's dropping out of the race.
What?
It's not his time.
Okay.
Keith, he realized it just hit him. Wait a minute.
Okay, let's see.
This is not my time.
I just couldn't sit this one out.
Oh, boy. Shoot. You couldn't?
But the Bible tells us
yeah.
I can still hear him breathing.
That there's a time for every purpose under heaven.
Yeah. Turn.
Traveling across the country over the past 6 months, I came here to say it's become clear to me.
I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
This is not my time.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. There never was your time, really.
So after much prayer and deliberation,
you're going to drop out?
I have decided to suspend my campaign for president effective today.
No, don't say that, Mike. Don't say that.
What is that?
We're all so brokenhearted.
Now, I'm leaving this campaign, but let me promise you.
Okay, promise.
I will never leave the fight for conservative values, and I will never stop fighting to elect principled Republican leaders to every office in the land.
What he said.
So help me God.
Yeah! I'm fired up now. Thank you, Mike Pence. Thank you, my friend.
All right, you can go now.
Bye-bye.
Oh,
Wait, let's have maybe a little period of mourning. Okay, now I'm over it.
I think he's still talking.
Man, for a moment there.
He's still talking, Pat.
I was really,
Pat, he's got
really
more to say.
broken
He's
up.
got more to say, Pat.
Okay. All right, I want to hear it. I do. Hit us with it, Mike. What else?
All right.
What else, my friend?
Here we go.
Hit me.
Wow, that's the most applause he's gotten in his entire life, and it's on the occasion that he's leaving the race, I'd like to point out.
As the...
Hey, he's trying to talk, y'all.
Okay, here we go. Oh, nope, he's not. Ah, darn it, there wasn't more. Dang it.
I feel like there was, but
I feel like there was too.
Ran out of tape.
And he was just too choked up with emotion, like the rest of us.
And
Inside right now, I am weeping like a 3-year-old girl. I'm sobbing inside. You know, I'm doing a good job. I know. Hiding it.
I was
on the
about to compliment
outside.
you. Like, how are you keeping it together, bro?
Yeah,
That
it's
was
hard.
your horse right there.
It's hard, but that's how strong I am.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
taking everything in me to keep it on the inside. So we'll miss you, Mike.
See, that's just it. You're a professional.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's
you're broken up.
The thing. Because I've been broken up before on the air, but you didn't know it, did you?
Didn't know it. What were some other times, you think?
I can't remember right now, but
Really?
there's been several times.
Was it the time that AOC showed up at the border and cried?
Oh,
for no
that was
reason at
one
all?
of those times. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah,
And
we
you
all
are
felt that one
you
powerfully.
are strong.
Right. Thank you for noticing. Speaking of something really sad, this actually is Mathew Perry from Friends. God, she was only 54.
Yes.
He drowned in his hot tub.
Okay. See,
That's weird.
they're investigating. We don't know the cause of death yet. Now, even though early on they said it was
cardiac arrest. Okay, so the first they said it was cardiac arrest.
And then found in his hot tub, drowned.
Right.
So,
okay, which is it? Did he have a cardiac arrest that brought on the drowning? Because how do you drown in your hot tub?
Yeah, he was alone and no signs of
foul play,
alcohol or drugs or anything like that.
Oh, there's no sign of drugs?
Which, considering his past.
Yeah, you would think.
I mean, because he said that he spent like half of his, like recently I was reading something, he spent half of the money he's ever earned on
drugs, on alcohol,
on rehabilitation, I think.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
Something like that.
Half of the money he's ever earned?
I forget what the quote was, but it was like, oh my. But yeah, I mean, he's...
Dang.
Yeah, he's had struggles for sure.
Yeah, that's really sad.
But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Now, of course, a lot of people were pointing out that he was fully vaccinated. I don't know what that would have to do with anything.
That's a real non sequitur there, people. I don't know
and in fact,
where you're going
he
with
was
that.
selling shirts, I guess, that showed that he was
fully vaxxed.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Here's his tweet. Could I be any more vaccinated? Get your shot and then get your shirt. Shop the entire class. Anyway, so I don't know, man. I don't know. I loved him. He was my favorite Friends character, Chandler. Can you allow me to play a clip from Friends? This is my favorite Chandler moment.
Okay.
I've actually used this line quite a bit in my life. Watch this.
Look at these videos. You know, I mean, who does he think he is? Magnum Force, Dirty Harry, Cool Hand Luke. Oh my God. What? There's a tape here with Monica's name on it.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, a tape with a girl's name on it. It's probably a sex tape. Wait a minute. It says Monica. And this is Richard's apartment. Get there faster.
Oh, he has made me laugh so many times.
Ah, man, that is really sad.
Yeah.
Something not so sad. Interesting headline from the Daily Mail after the main shooter was found dead. It was my speculation last week that that's why they couldn't find it, because he's already dead. You know, he went off and committed suicide or whatever. But he was found in the woods with 2 gunshot wounds to his head.
Sources say.
Two gunshot wounds to his head.
Okay.
Suicide.
So they took that headline down, and then they said that he was found, dead in a dumpster at a recycling facility.
Oh, it wasn't in the woods
apparently
then.
Committed suicide.
Well, that's an easy mistake to make.
2 shots to the head in the woods or 1 shot at a recycling center.
Yeah, I mean, which one is it? I don't know. They both look the same.
You know, when you're
except for the trees.
Yeah.
You know, other than the trees and the extra bullet hole.
It's very similar.
Very similar situation.
See,
there.
This is what happens when your government handler, your MK Ultra handler, tracks you down first.
So weird. Wow, is that bizarre?
Isn't it, though?
Yeah, that is bizarre. But at least
how do you get that
he's
wrong?
not at large. I don't know how you get it wrong. There's no way to get that wrong. It was either a dumpster with 1 shot, or the woods with 2. You can't really confuse that. How do you get it that freaking wrong?
And if you're writing that headline and writing up that story for the Daily Mail, that's not like, oh, it was a typo. Sorry, I typed woods instead of dumpster at recycling center. Oh, I'm sorry, it was a typo.
They're not
I
close.
typed 2 shots to the head instead of 1.
They are not close. It's like Vince Foster shot himself in the head 2 or 3 times and then dragged himself across the street and dumped himself in the park. Though that's not a suicide when that happens. Of course, that's not exactly how it went but that's the perception of the Vince Foster situation.
Oh, by the way, we need to do some housekeeping on something we reported on Friday. Remember, we talked about there was reports that Mark Meadows had worn a wire as chief of staff for Donald Trump, and Ryan Fournier had posted something like that on Twitter. Well, he posted an update. He said, yesterday I put up a tweet alleging that Mark Meadows wore a wire in the White House during the last stretch. I've spoke with some of my sources again, and now it seems that information was wrong and incorrect. In fact, 2 of them retracted their statements on the matter entirely. I apologize for putting something out there without being 100% accurate. That's on me, and I'll do better next time. I also apologize to Congressman Meadows and his staff for having to field questions on this issue. There seems to be some dark forces behind the scenes trying to get Meadows, and to me that's very problematic, especially when it seems it's being sent through grapevine, blah, blah, blah. But he said that he revealed his source on this, which was it was a congressman. Representative Mark Walker is the original source for these claims. So I don't know. There you go. Just wanted to clear that up since we reported that as well. I don't know.
Based on their report, of course.
Yes. So interesting, whatever misinformation game is being played. But something like the 2 gunshots to the head in the woods and 1 gunshot in the recycling center, I don't even know how that even...
It's inconceivable how that happens. I don't understand it.
Very strange.
The other thing about that is apparently the police across Maine were alerted last month to veiled threats by this man, the Army reservist, who went on to carry out the worst mass shooting in the state's history. 2 local law enforcement chiefs told the AP that a statewide awareness alert was sent in mid-September to be on the lookout for him after the firearms instructor made threats against his base and fellow soldiers. But after stepped-up patrols of the base and a visit to his home, neither of which turned up any sign of him, they moved on. What are you supposed to do if we know about him, and that's almost always the case? Yeah, we knew we had a watch on him. We were checking him out because he was suspicious and nuts, and he'd made threats in the past. Okay, how does that fail us every time? Every single time. It does go to show that we do have rights, and you can't do future crimes arrests. You can't make an arrest based on what you think this guy is going to do, can you? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to stop it. But time after time after time, we see this. Yeah, we knew about him. Authorities knew about him. The FBI was watching him. Yeah, he's crazy. He was in an institution for 2 weeks, and then we let him go. Huh. Okay, well, maybe, I guess, more laws would do the trick. Maybe make it extra illegal to give a man like this firearms or allow him access to them. How illegal can you make it? Super duper Doppler illegal? I don't know. I don't know that that's going to do anything. But they couldn't locate him. So, oh well, let's move on. You know, do a little more investigation into that. Check out his residence another day. See if he's maybe home at that time. No, that's too much to ask.
So, every time, Pat.
Yeah, virtually every time. They could be avoided. Also, mentioned that Google has invested $2 billion into an AI company whose CEO admits this company has a 25% chance of destroying humanity. That seems interesting. They've gone all in on this artificial intelligence startup company. Alphabet, Google's parent company, has injected $2 billion into AI startup Anthropic. It's generally considered a rival to OpenAI, which is the company behind ChatGPT. The Daily Mail reported that Anthropic CEO and co-founder Dario Amodei claimed earlier in the last week, that AI has anywhere between a 10 and 25% chance of destroying humanity. Okay.
Oh.
I'm going to say maybe we don't continue the development then.
Maybe.
20. If you think there's a 25% chance, that's enough for me to say, you know what? No.
Okay, but
no, let's not.
Have you seen the world we are living in right now?
I have seen it. I've had a glimpse.
And just let AI do its thing, Pat.
Yeah, right.
Come on, man.
That might be just the humanitarian thing.
Right?
Just put us out of our misery.
Now you're getting it.
Modi qualified his statement on some show. He said, if we can avoid the downsides, then this stuff about curing cancer, extending human lifespan, solving problems like mental illness, I don't think it's outside the scope of what this can do. Well, those would be good things. Would really like that. There has already been $500 million that Google invested in Anthropic, and now another $2 billion. With the remaining investment provided over a period of time, Amazon also invested $4 billion into Anthropic.
Oh, that's why our Prime membership has gone up by $30 or whatever.
Right. Man, that's a lot of investment into an unproven company. That's at least $6.5 billion right there that this company has access to. Jeez. No, okay. All right, good. Let me paint you a picture for a minute. What would it be like if all of a sudden our global supply of antibiotics disappeared right before our eyes? That's not out of the realm of possibility. In fact, we've already had problems in the supply chain with all kinds of things, with baby formula, with certain foods, with, I know Clorox wipes for a while were unavailable. So it's not like that. Oh, that's out there. That is out there. Not at all. Plus, all this stuff's made in China and India. So are they always going to keep the supply flowing to us no matter what? What do you do when this happens? Or maybe you're just out of town without access to any medication, to your pharmacy, to your doctor. That's where the Jace case comes in super handy. You're going to love the fact that you have this available. 5 separate antibiotics that you can use for sinus infections or whatever problem that comes up as far as, a bio infection of some sort. The Jace case. Jace Medical. It's a great way to keep prepared for whatever eventuality. Okay? So go to jasemedical.com/Pat. That's JASE medical.com. Enter the promo code Pat at checkout. Promo code Pat at jasemedical.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Chilling. The chilling sound.
Can't wait till this music is done.
I like it. It's fun. That's fun.
Halloween, man.
It's good. Halloween is good.
Overrated.
I love Halloween. I think it's fun.
Do you scare kids that come up for candy and whatnot?
Oh, yeah.
What do?
I get out my AR-15.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what we call a Texas
Scares
Halloween.
the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Do you shoot at him?
No, I don't shoot at
Come on,
them.
don't be ridiculous,
No, that'd be
man.
silly. That would be wrong.
Okay.
This isn't Florida.
Oh, man. Is there one great thing you can do for Halloween that would, I don't know, change things up a little bit from these dumb little fun size
That's become
candies,
the norm, and I don't care
which
for
they're
that.
not.
Right?
I don't care for it either. There's nothing fun about this size of food.
We've been Overton
Nothing.
windowed into accepting that as the norm.
Don't accept it.
Don't accept that, no. Are you talking about those delicious Kexi cookies?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, I
Because I
am.
was just having a lemon one
Right?
last night.
Oh, you had a lemon?
Because
the
of
sugar lemon.
the sugar
oh,
lemon.
so good. Man, is that good. I ate a whole one over the weekend.
Oh, my gosh.
I couldn't stop. I
How's
couldn't
your sugar?
stop.
Did the ambulance
it went
show
up to
up in time?
7.3 million was my glucose level afterward. Actually, it didn't shoot it up that much. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Yeah. It went up to 180 or something, but it can do that after you eat. And it did that after I ate.
And so you
something I
haven't had
wasn't
sugar
supposed to.
for the last 7 days?
Yeah,
or
it did buzz me.
How long
I
did
didn't sleep for 3 days afterwards.
Oh.
Sugar high.
But our chocolate birthday cake, these are some of the last few days for this. That has a birthday cake fudge in the center. So delicious.
Oh, God.
The maple pecan, creamy maple frosting on it. And the worms and grubs, which has been a really popular Halloween flavor. Over the weekend, we went to the BYU tailgate party at one of the high schools in Austin. And Crumble was there with some free cookies.
Oh, my gosh. Did you set fire to their display?
I did not, because it's not hurting us in the least. But once you taste test them, so they were giving out free cookies, and they're okay, but they're not. I don't think they use the same quality ingredients.
We should do a
that Kexi
taste
does.
test.
We should do
I'll
it.
do a
Yes, we're going to.
blind
We're
taste
going to
test.
do a blind taste
A blind
test.
test? That'd be awesome.
Maybe Friday
Okay.
would be a good day for that.
Okay.
So you
bring the
judge.
cookies, I'll bring the rest.
All right. I'll bring the cookies.
Okay, I support this in theory.
Kexi.com if you want to test these out, because they are delicious.
I support this in theory. However, you just picked a day when Jeffy's in the house.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be like, I need another sample. I can't tell.
I don't know.
Give me some more. I need more control.
Don't you have any waffles? No, not from Kexi Cookies. No, we don't have waffles. What about pancakes? No pancakes either.
Are the rest of us
What kind of cookie company are you?
Jeffy,
Well, one that sells cookies.
Save some for us to test, bro.
All right, we told you that Mike Pence dropped out of the 2024 presidential
What a shame,
race.
right?
But here's the good news. Gavin Newsom still lurking out there somewhere in, Never Land. He decided to play a pickup game of basketball over the weekend, and this happened. Wow, look at him. Look at him. Oh, my God.
Oh, what are you doing? All right, don't touch the kid's butt.
Okay, no. Okay, the kid is really uncomfortable.
Let him go. Let him go.
Okay, he really wants to get away from you, Gavin.
By the way, that kid had position. I like to point out that was a charge.
That was a charge.
Play that again.
Yeah, let's see.
He
You
was
tell me.
stationary.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
He's being a hot dog, though.
Watch this.
Trying to show us how spectacular. Oh, boy, and down he goes. What an athlete.
Okay, don't spank the kid's butt.
No. And then don't hold on to him like that.
All right.
All he wants is to get away.
All right.
That's all he wants. Get away from me.
What?
That's all I want in life right now, is for you to be further away than you currently are. That's all I want.
I tell you, man, he's hanging around.
Yeah, he is.
He's running a shadow campaign for sure.
Yeah.
I know Payu B asking a lot of questions on Twitter. Why is he in China? Do we even know?
Why did he go to
Why
China?
is he in China?
He's been in China for like a week now.
Mm-hmm.
That's where
is
that
he in
game was.
China?
That's where they
that
were
was in
playing with the
Beijing,
kids.
Yeah.
He's trying to show his presidential prowess. I think that's what he's doing.
Then he did a photo shoot at the wall,
Yeah.
which it was riveting.
Rivet, I'm sure. Yeah.
Why is he in China?
And he's a governor.
And he's a governor
Uh-huh.
of California.
Right. That's weird, isn't it?
It is very
Is he
weird.
going to ask China while he's over there about the biolabs that are
Maybe.
in his state?
Wuhan?
that have Ebola and COVID and dead rats and every other kind of strange virus. Have a conversation about those, why don't you?
I'm guessing that's not going to come up.
You don't think it'll come up?
In their polite conversation.
So he thinks he's in the driver's seat, I guess, if Biden bows out, huh?
Yes, he does. You know he does. Over Vice President Kamala Harris, who probably not a big fan of Gavin Newsom's right now.
Right.
She talked about her popularity on 60 Minutes.
Oh, okay.
A recent CBS poll found that at the beginning of President Biden's term, 70% of young people under 30, said he was doing a good job. Now it's less than 50%.
Oh, wow.
Why is that? What's going on?
If you poll how young people feel about the climate and the warming of our planet, it polls as one of their top concerns when we talk about what we are doing with student loan.
And all that shows, because that's not the case with any other group of people. Nobody cares about your dumb climate change bull crap hoax.
Right, just your brainwashed generation.
Yes. That shows the brainwashing has been pretty successful over the years. You've scared the crap out of an entire generation of kids. Congratulations. That's really hard to do.
How dare you?
Right.
There we go.
All right,
Exhibit
let's see the rest of this.
Top concerns when we talk about what we are doing with student loan debt.
Yeah.
Polls very high.
No good.
The challenge that we have as an administration, we got to let people know who brung it to them. That's our challenge. But it is not that the work we are doing is not very, very popular with a lot of people.
You think? Okay, telling them that they don't have to pay for things that they should have paid for is very, very popular with them. You're kidding. Free money is popular with people? Huh. Who saw that one coming?
Wow. And then she was also asked, we don't have the clip of this, but she was also asked, hey, your popularity is real, like you personally. I mean, it just sucks. And what she said, her answer was,
I don't have time for parlor games.
I eat no for breakfast.
I don't even know what that...
What does that mean?
I don't know. She sucks.
Was the interviewer playing a parlor game?
I don't know.
Very weird.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
You know, there's an organization out there that still backs Obamacare, backs gun control, extreme transgender policies that endanger our children. And while they claim to be bipartisan or nonpartisan, the truth is, last year, 95% of their donations went to Democrats. That organization, of course, is the AARP, and it doesn't represent the values of America's seniors. But fortunately, there's a conservative alternative. It's AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. They proudly champion Americans' rights to free speech, religious liberty, and the Second Amendment. AMAC is the leading conservative advocacy and benefits organization, and they defend parents' rights to protect their kids. They're also fighting to restore America's election integrity, too. AMAC is pushing back against the efforts to defund our police, to weaken our borders, and indoctrinate and corrupt our youth. They have more than 2 million members nationwide. They're pro-faith, they're pro-family, and they're pro-freedom. That's why they've got so many members. But they can't do it alone. Joining gives you access to special low rates on cell phones and cell phone plans, health and wellness products, travel and lodging, vision, dental, and prescription drugs. So join today. Let's send AARP a strong message that they don't represent you. Join AMAC today at amac.us/Pat. That's AMAC, amac.us/Pat.
Pat Gray is Unleashed.
So this is great. They're melting down statues because they want to turn them into more inclusive.
Oh, God.
People, persons, statues of persons.
Yeah.
They can't actually turn it into a person. I don't know if you know that. But I'm pretty sure that a statue cannot become a person. However, it could potentially represent one. So I'm anxious. Well, I'm eager.
Oh, you're eager.
I'm eager to see what they're going to replace Robert E. Lee
I don't
with.
know.
Because he melted this down. Here it is. They're melting down the statue right there.
Look
of Robert E. Lee. Isn't that great?
I think you are anxious to see what golden calf they melt that down into.
Yeah.
Oh my! So
I mean, I'm not a huge Robert E. Lee fan, but the thing is,
what's the thing?
They're changing our.
And Barack knows that we are going to have to make sacrifices. We are going to have to change our conversation. We're going to have to change our traditions, our history. We're going to have to move into a different place.
Huh? Okay. Seems like that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're changing our traditions. We're changing our history. We're moving into a different place. Not a good place, but it is a different one.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations on that.
I can't wait to see what meaningless art that turns into.
Yeah, won't that be great?
Communist goal number...
Is that 42, 45, somewhere in there?
I don't know. It's in there, though.
Make meaningless art is one of the goals. And man, have they ever succeeded in that. They've been great with that. You look around at the art that's in most major metropolitan areas, you look at it and you think, what is that exactly? I have no idea. Can't relate to it in the least. And that's the point.
Yeah, and I will say that you talk about the meaningless art in these cities. We just played earlier in the show all of the ceasefire rallies.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all they want.
Yeah, that's all they want.
They just want
a ceasefire.
Right. I'm watching football games over the weekend, whether it's college or pro, and I just think of these cities, and it's like you're not going to see a stadium built inside a city going forward, I bet. They're going to go to the suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine? Like, I don't want to travel into these cities anymore.
No, that's right.
At all.
Yeah.
Daylight, nighttime. I just don't want to be down there for multiple reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I was just thinking of the chaos going on just outside of these stadiums, and going forward, I just...
Yeah. I don't know.
It's who wants to be in an American city anymore?
By the way, did anybody hear about a Category 5 hurricane approaching Mexico?
Yes.
You did? You did hear about it?
Yes.
Because I don't remember seeing anything about it.
It was all over Telemundo, Univision.
Which is that what you watch a lot? Yeah. Telemundo. Maria. Telemundo. Is Maria Maria?
Yeah, how's she doing?
Still on Telemundo?
Maria está en Telemundo, sí.
Okay.
Bienvenidos, amigos.
That was pretty good, though.
That was good.
That was
good.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like every commercial break, It's like, Bienvenidos, amigos. And you're like,
You're quiere Taco Bell. That's all the Spanish.
That's good, though.
Yeah, it is good.
That's more practical.
Quiero Taco Bell.
Yeah.
No, I can't. But I can say Manawaniarawa.
That's good too.
That's more than the Mexicans crossing over knowing English.
Right.
So, like, you quiero Taco Bell, that's a lot more than they know in English.
So you're saying we're more inclusive.
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
Yeah. So they got hit with a Cat 5 hurricane.
Bad.
Jeez, that's not good. Let's see what happened.
Look. Just destruction.
This is Acapulco.
Acapulco, man.
Well, not no more.
Oh, man. Jeez.
And
again, I didn't even hear about this.
I didn't either.
Because I don't watch
Telemundo.
Maria Telemundo. Look at that. Wow.
And this video, Pat, it goes on and on and on. Nothing but total destruction.
Sheesh.
So you can see the windows and stuff on these buildings are just blown out,
destroyed.
That's a shame.
But at least they stayed intact. The buildings didn't come down, which is good.
So they're obviously going to have some.
So 175 mile an hour winds. Jeez, man.
There's obviously going to be some construction jobs in Acapulco.
Yeah.
Can we spread the word?
If you're a window person in Acapulco,
there's opportunity. I see.
Yeah, there's opportunity.
See what you're picking up what I'm putting down, right?
Do we have any? I mean, how many people were hurt here?
Yeah. What is the
know?
count on that? 27 people
dead, or
this was 2 days ago. A headline says at least 27 people have died.
Ah, jeez.
So I don't know where we're at now on that.
Yeah, a lot of
we're
destruction.
At 48. How many did you say?
48.
Wow.
Yeah, 48. Death toll rose to 48. Missing is now 36.
And this is Hurricane Otis.
Otis, yes.
Did you see that they're starting to name winter storms?
Oh, yeah, they've been
now?
doing that.
Yeah,
Weather
what is
Channel
that?
been leading the way for quite a while.
On.
Winter Storm Bartholomew is making its way into Nebraska this weekend.
What? Winter Storm Bartholomew?
Yeah.
What do we need that for? I don't need that.
When I see a tweet from a weatherman, because, I mean...
It's to make it all sound worse than it is, by the way.
Absolutely. It's obviously they have an agenda. This is something the Weather Channel started years back, and it's just...
Stupid!
Right. And so I unfollow. If I see a tweet from a weatherman where they are talking about Winter Storm Joey... Yeah, like you said.
I'm done.
Unfollow.
Yep.
That's an agenda.
Bye. Ridiculous. It's a snowstorm. Move on. It's always happened. They have always, since in my lifetime, it's always happened. I grew up in Montana. There are snowstorms. And there were. And there still are. So that hasn't changed.
So those aren't a new thing then?
Those are not a new thing. No.
Wow, okay.
And how about the global warming that has hit Dallas, the Dallas-Fort Worth area the last few days? Woo-hoo-hoo! Could you even breathe? It was so hot.
I'm just looking here at the old...
that's early. We are really early in the season for this kind of cold snap to hit Dallas. Come on.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this.
The high today is going to be 50. 50!
I'm so
excited. It was 39 on the way in this morning.
It was 39.
Hold on, we got to talk about the board op in there, Chris Cruz.
Yeah.
I checked because I know he wears Crocs every day without socks.
Okay, Crocs without socks.
And I thought, it's really cold today. Let me check. And sure enough, he's got Crocs without socks, even though it's in the 30s out there.
There it is.
So are you...
There's the evidence right there.
Oh, my gosh, nice. And so I asked him...
Sexy ankles.
I said, hey, Chris,
nice job,
is there any weather where you wear socks?
There's no weather?
No.
There's no
If there
weather.
was snow, if there was 6 inches of snow, you wouldn't wear socks?
Nope. I'm not there.
I pity the fool that doesn't wear socks when there's 6 inches of snow.
The Snowmageddon, I was out there.
Yeah?
Barefooted.
Were you really?
Oh, yeah. It was awesome.
You were out there. What?
He was out there.
Okay. Do you own socks? I guess is the question.
Yes, I have some Blaze Media socks. Yeah.
And you
Is
never
that
wear-
it?
Yeah. Oh, and then some wool buffalo socks that someone sent to the studios.
You could put them on.
Okay.
Yeah, you could put them on. All right, so I'm looking at the U.S. temperature map right now. I'm seeing single digits. Western Nebraska, Wyoming, obviously. 1 degree. It looks like it's Taos, New Mexico.
1?
Right now.
It is 1 degree.
That's what the map makes it look like. Yeah.
Jeez.
And then we're at -6 in eastern Idaho.
6 below in eastern Idaho.
Global warming.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, that is proof that climate change doesn't exist. If every single heat wave is proof it does, then every single cold wave is proof it doesn't.
That's fair.
I think it is.
All you're doing is going by their rules.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Oh, but they'll say it's weather weirding.
Or
There's a hole in the sky where the tree once was. Somebody's making money.
Beautiful. Thank you for that reminder. Appreciate that. All right. I'm going to tell you about real estate agents I trust, because if you're trying to sell your home, you're going to need a really good realtor. Somewhere you can turn to, somebody you can turn to give you really good advice. What should I do with my home? Should I get it prepared? Should I make improvements? Will I get my money out of it if I do? It's a really volatile market, and you need a realtor who understands it and who is really successful in it and has a great track record. Somebody who's not going to just have you, they're not going to put you through an open house every single weekend so you can leave. First of all, make sure your house is immaculate and then leave for the weekend. See ya. Let people tromp through this place, and we'll see what happens at the end. These are the people that will deal with all the hassles, that will help you get through the process and see it through to the very end. It's Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name really says it all. RealEstateAgentsITrust.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
So police have arrested a woman. This has happened again. I think this one's in Britain, right? We've had this happen in the U.S.
Yeah, Britain today, America tomorrow, right?
Although, wasn't somebody already arrested for praying in front of an abortion clinic?
Here in America?
Yeah.
Was that an arrest?
Yeah. They made him stop. I know the cop came over and hassled him, and I think put cuffs on him.
The world's insane. I can't keep up with how insane it is.
But a woman was praying on the sidewalk, and here's what happened.
Are you here as part of an organised protest?
Oh, she's reading her little cue card, the police officer.
Are you part of a pro-life organisation or pro-choice?
None of your business.
I am, but I'm not here in that capacity.
Okay. Are you protesting?
No.
Are you here to pray for the lives of unborn children?
It's a little bit leading, but no, I'm not.
Okay.
Pause it. Am I here to do what?
I don't know. Rewind that. I wasn't looking at the screen.
Am I here? Oh, you hit. Yeah, is she speaking English?
Yeah, let's see.
Because that's not.
Wait, here. Well, okay, press play. Are you here to pray for unborn children? Is that what it says?
Oh.
Press play.
Pray for the lives of unborn children.
It's a little bit leading, but no, I'm not.
Okay. Can your action be carried out elsewhere?
No.
I can pray elsewhere, but I want to pray here today.
Who cares where I
Right.
pray?
Why have you chosen the location here to stand?
Why have you chosen
You know, this is an abortion centre that I'm standing outside of.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you aware that there is a public space protection
Oh,
order in place?
there's a public space protection order in
Yes, I
place
am.
right there.
Okay.
Got to protect the space.
Are you aware that you're breaching the public protection order?
I'm not, no.
Will you move from here to outside the exclusion zone?
Will you move outside?
I don't believe I need to.
Okay.
Okay.
If not, why are you not willing to move outside the exclusion zone?
Because I don't believe I need to. I believe I've got a right to be here.
Okay.
Apparently that's not true in Britain.
If you believe that you're present to protest in any form, obviously we're going to need to issue with a police penalty notice.
Sorry, can you explain that again?
Okay.
Yes.
Here we go.
If you believe that you're present to protect in any form,
If I believe what? Sorry.
Yeah, really.
if you believe that you are present to protest
No,
in
I'm
any
not.
form,
I'm not here to protest. No.
She's
right? Well, you
She's
in
ignoring
the PSPO. You're breaching it.
I'm in the
you're gonna
zone.
Yes,
but I'm
you're
not
gonna-
protesting.
Yeah, so you're going to be given a fixed penalty.
She's ignoring everything she's saying.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that will
yes.
give to you with the offence and failing to comply with the public space protection order under the Antisocial Behaviour
Crime and Policing Act.
2014.
Good gosh.
And my colleague's going to issue with the ticket.
Just to make it clear, I'm not protesting. Okay.
She's ignoring her. She doesn't care.
Is this Great Britain or is it Iran?
Contact the PSPO.
Is it China?
I think you've seen that before.
I know there's a zone here, but I'm not protesting within the zone. I'm just silently praying.
What's your date of birth, Isabel?
So she was quietly praying.
Yeah, that's illegal in Britain.
She wasn't hitting people with a hammer as they walked by. She wasn't blocking an entrance. She wasn't doing anything but praying on the sidewalk. And you can't do that in Great Britain?
Wow. If you're an officer of the law.
Oh, my gosh.
And you're
How
told to go and
embarrassed.
enforce this.
Yeah, forget it.
You got to
I'm
say
not doing
no.
it. I'm not doing it.
Find someone else.
No. And if that costs me my job, so be it. So be it. I'm not going to take away people's freedom. That is crazy.
But to be fair, we're looking at it from our perspective, right? The First Amendment and
yeah.
Like over there, the police don't even carry weapons.
Yeah.
So what are you, a glorified security guard?
And there was a reason we left that stinking country in the first place. Am I right? To come here. And religious freedom was among the reasons. Freedom of speech
That's
was
been
among
playing
the
out
reasons.
really well, hasn't it?
It has. Yeah, it's gone really well. Well, for a while it went well.
Yeah. It was
Starting to take a turn now.
good times.
For some reason, we're starting to go back to island theory rather than our own American theory. I don't know why. I don't know how it happened. Just incrementally.
Oh, because you've allowed the infiltration of our nation.
That's
people
true.
who don't respect what Michelle Obama just said, right?
Yep.
We're going to change our history. Well, what better way to do that than to import people who don't share that with us and don't care to, as a matter of fact.
And you have people like the Obamas who are destroying it from within. And so without that help, it could never happen from without.
Yeah, they're all about killing countries and chefs. In theory.
When are you going to drop that, bro? It was one chef.
It was one chef. It's not like they killed every chef.
Don't mess up the souffle, man, if you're the Obama's cook.
Like,
man.
it's not like they have a body count like another president.
Yeah, you kill one chef, and then pretty soon you're known as a chef killer.
The chef killer.
That's just wrong.
Absolutely.
That's wrong.
That's so wrong.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Labels,
Chris.
man. Am I right?
You're right. You are right. Actually, it was Chris that pointed it out, so he's right. You're the one who's labeling them chef killers when they've killed one chef.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
allegedly.
It was
yes.
alleged. I wouldn't say. I was just.
I mean, how picky are you that you kill no chefs?
No chef?
I mean, come on.
What is the world coming to? I mean,
you want a lawyer to be killed?
The margin for error in chef killings is so thin.
It is. It really is.
It's just a chef that was writing a book.
Right. That's fair.
You don't need a chef author. That's for sure.
Thank you.
That is for
you
darn
make
sure.
money by just cooking. Don't become an author.
Right. I'm giving
That's
you
a dangerous game.
What am I giving you? 50, 75,000, 100 grand a year to cook for me in Martha's Vineyard?
And you're my chef.
That's all you need to do then. I don't want any books written. So,
do we know what he was making? The actual salary?
I don't know.
I would love to
think
find
so.
that out.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it's probably 7,500 somewhere in there.
Enough to leave the White House?
Yeah, right.
And then go to Mathew Vineyard?
I bet you know what the chef is making at the White House because we're paying that salary. You gotta. We have to know about that, right? So then add another, 25% to that to get him to come with you to Massachusetts, and we'll see.
Oh my gosh!
Any idea?
The White House executive chef made between $80,000 and $100,000 annual. Oh, in 2005.
Oh.
Let's see. Okay.
So it's got to be more than that.
That was
now.
just the first thing that came up on Google. Yeah, I'm okay. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So this comes up October 2023. That's today. The salaries of White House chefs in the U.S. Okay, I don't know.
Today's the 30th.
I'm saying this is October of 2023.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is just some weird AI grabbed this number. It's just the salaries of White House chefs, because there's so many.
Mm-hmm.
Range from $18,000 to $474,000.
What?
So, now this is, I think that's
no.
This is just some weird AI grabbing numbers off the web. Let's see here.
I'll bet it's got to be about 100 grand, right?
Yeah. They're saying the average annual salaries are.
If you're a really good chef and you work at the White House, you're making 100,000.
Oh, here we go. I found an article. Here's the headline.
All right.
Here's how much the White House chef actually makes.
Mm-hmm.
And this article estimates.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Let's give it its due.
Somewhere between 80 and 100,000. Ta-da!
That's what we said already. So
yeah,
it's kind of anticlimactic.
We did kind of say that, right?
Yeah, we kind of said that.
So you're right. He probably got.
So he got a 25% raise. He's doing 125.
125
with the Obamas.
Yeah, let's
say.
Which is good money cooking.
It's good money.
But then the chef sees what the couple made on Netflix, right?
Yes.
And he's like, hey.
He sees they're worth $100 million. He wants a little bit more.
And next thing you know, you're at the bottom of a lagoon.
Right.
Wait, hold up. Are we changing our theory? Are we no longer impregnating the daughters?
No, I mean, there's that too.
Oh,
but.
okay.
No, it was all about the pay raise.
It was about the pay raise now.
He's like, bro, inflation. I mean, you're technically still president. It's your fault, Barack.
Your third term is still going, bro.
Right. We're in the middle of your third term. So, all right. Let's see. We got this from Pat Head, COVID medicine man.
Yeah, this is very interesting.
He says, my dad and brother are mechanical engineers in petroleum.
Because we were talking about it last week, and
we're mentioning the renewable goo thing.
Right. We were like, hey, if it's renewable, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they drain a site, can they go back?
And find that it's filled back up.
That would confirm your theory that it's renewable goo.
And this could be that confirmation. So they're mechanical engineers in petroleum, exploration, and transport. So I have some inside baseball. Many of the oil fields in Texas and Oklahoma were abandoned when they were approximately 50% drained, making it less efficient to recover, and there were plenty of other fields to explore.
Okay.
After many decades, many of these reserves have refilled significantly. So they have been returning to recover the oil for several years. So yes, oil is a renewable goo, likely from manual cycles.
Wow. Whatever a manual cycle is.
Yeah, whatever that is.
I don't care anymore.
Which is what ICR said when they came. Dr. Thomas said,
Yeah.
It had to be something like that. If not,
has to be.
It will eat it itself and will have nothing else.
Right.
The bacteria inside.
Yeah, the bacteria would eat away at the oil and there wouldn't be any. So something's going on there where it's renewable, right? And something is also going on, as we pointed out many times, because we've been at peak oil for, 120 years or something, supposedly, and then we keep finding more and more and more. I mean, do you remember the days when they said Saudi Arabia had the most oil anywhere in the world? And then we found so much in the United States that completely flipped around. We've got the most oil, if you include shale,
be nice
of
if
anywhere
we could,
in the world.
Maybe tap that resource.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
Maybe we could rely less on countries that hate us.
Why would you do that, though? Why would you do that?
Yeah, you know what? It does make life more exciting, right?
It does.
I mean, it kind of...
When you're at the mercy of people who hate your guts and want you destroyed, it makes, I don't know, it's exciting.
Yeah, it makes existing more of a challenge.
Right?
And it just
you feel kind of tingly all the time, don't you?
Yeah, you're just...
Yeah, all right.
Stuff.
Well, we got overtime to deal with.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a fun video for you in overtime.
Yeah, so basically there's a video making the rounds, and people are wondering if you wrote the script.
Oh.
And so I think we should share that in overtime.
And we will.
I wonder if you did write it.
I wonder. We'll see. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up on overtime, and then we'll see you back here tomorrow.
God save the Queen, man.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.